About a lot last week about what we wanted to see differently from the team, what we wanted to see them do to give us some confidence going into, not really just us, give themselves some confidence going into SEC play. We wanted to see them have a little bit more consistent at bats. We wanted to see them play a little bit more consistently on defense. And we wanted to see other starting pitchers step up. Because the bullpen has been solid. We want to see other starting pitchers step up. And I feel like they did all of those things this weekend. They didn't play perfect. They didn't play completely clean games defensively throughout the weekend. They had a game, but I'm okay with that. The errors weren't detrimental. It was only one for the game. And in college sports, like, you can get away with having one error, right? And that's a great way to. When we talked about it, you're not going to fix it all in one weekend. It's a process. It takes time, and confidence takes time. Well, they went through the weekend and they raked. I know Bethune-Cookman's not great, but you still got to go out there and you still got to play, and you got to take the teams. You got to take the schedule that you have and the teams that you're playing against, and you have to go out and perform like you're supposed to perform, and that's what they did. They went out on Friday. Blake Money was shoving, came out early, down 6-2. They make the comeback. Jack Merrifield comes up with the big hit in the bottom of the seventh inning. They win the game 8-7. They close it out. Huge game. Huge win. I don't care who you're playing. Anytime you win that first game of the series, especially in that way, that is huge. Huge confidence builder. Then you go out the next day. Ty Floyd's on the bump, and he is absolutely shoving.
8 Ks.
6 innings, 8 strikeouts. I don't know how many hits he gave up, but it wasn't many. And then you put in Reiselman. He comes in for 3 innings, 7 strikeouts. So you get 2 guys that struck out 15 guys combined, saves the bullpen, especially with Blake Money going down early on Friday. Your bullpen, you didn't want your bullpen to get depleted. That was an enormous second game by the boys.
He's awesome in the pen.
Reiselman?
I love Reiselman.
Yeah, he's great. He is. Have y'all seen Angels in the Outfield?
Oh, absolutely.
He comes sets again. Sets again.
The third time.
That's Reiselman. If you ever watch Reiselman, he comes in, he goes sets,
And pumps Ched.
sets again, and throws 100, and then gets you.
How do you feel about that? Does that fuck with the timing at all?
Well, not when you set. It only fucks with when you start like slide stepping and changing like your up and down.
If you ever put that in where there's like no one on and it's like maybe one set or set 3 times in a slide step, set 3 times in a big lift, then he can really kind of get you. Other than that, if there's runners on,
but if he's gonna set, because
he's got to come stop anyway,
every time and then go home to you, like that's.
The only time it gets kind of annoying is like when he's throwing in between innings. It's like, bro, just get your 8 in. Like, stop setting 8 times. But whatever.
Does that just become like it's something he doesn't even want to do, but it makes him comfortable, and he's like, somehow I've settled on this number to where like.
I'll be honest, I've never really asked pitchers about that.
Comfortable. It's all just being comfortable, like. Just getting in your you can set 7 times.
I mean, he's doing it for a reason.
The chair, that was good.
Hey, he's definitely doing it for a reason. I've never really asked pitchers
Oh.
about that. I don't know.
Comfort thing, probably.
Spinning.
What'd you say?
What?
I said I've never really asked. I mean, he's obviously doing it for a reason. It's not just a.
It's like a.
He probably wants to. It's probably a feel.
No,
thing
it's a feel thing.
You know? So like he probably wants to set so he could feel like he's like grounded in his back hip, so he can almost like loading up. Cause like as a reliever. You know, now if he's setting with someone on base like that, and he's set, and it's hard for him to go. Like the guy's it's gonna be hard to control the running game. But he doesn't do it as
LSU has no interest in defense anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Come on, easy over there. Okay, negative Nancy. All right,
I was built on the fundamentals.
They played better defensively this weekend.
It's just shocking how quickly it happened.
It was a confidence thing. It was just.
Was it the turf?
No, it wasn't just the turf. They made errors outside of the turf.
No, I'm saying, is that what started this whole thing? Was like, oh God, we've heard
Jimmy
Johnson
and like
doesn't work
then you
on
hear,
wet turf.
Then you hear
wet turf.
Then you start hearing people talk about it. Then you start thinking more about it. I gotta be perfect, and you try to be perfect, and it's hard. Baseball is a hard game. It's a mental game, and it's gonna take time for them to build. Hey, you know what? Jordan Thompson made a nasty play at shortstop. And makes a throw over the first, like, we're fine. You just take some, that's just the way it goes, right? Playing it back at home. They got their feet back underneath them. I have no worries about what's going to happen. Like, they're going to continue to improve. They're going to continue to get better. And if they keep swinging the bat like they swung it, and Mik'd Hilliard was nails on Sunday. So if you can get Ty Floyd to throw like that,
He's been throwing a 2.7. That's his ERA in the year.
Yeah.
who?
Ty Floyd.
Yeah, right. Ty Floyd's dealing. Blake Money's not seriously hurt, so he'll be back as your Friday guy. So now you have two guys that have been pretty solid as your number 1 and number 2 guys. And if Mik'd here can do what he did on Sunday, you're in a pretty good spot.
We got a timetable on Money yet?
Day to day. They said it was day to day.
Just
They
wrapping
said it
it,
was.
they
They
said.
said
So
they
it's
wrapped
possible he
it.
throws Friday?
Yep. What?
Day to day is the Kid Beloso still day to day.
They said it was a wrist
must have
injury,
had a
nothing
tough weekend,
serious.
bro.
I mean, Lloyd's.
Good
Jeez.
Taking the under on everything.
Hey, I said my saying is bring your personality today, and Lloyd's personality is negative.
Toxic today.
You're
Toxic
a
table.
toxic table by yourself. Nobody's on that table next to you.
Somebody must have stole his gold card.
Will Wade.
Yeah, well, it's the Will Wade hangover, I think. But
It is some of that.
But-
But no, what I will say is for LSU baseball, was that not the perfect weekend that they needed to just fucking start hitting bangers off the wall, start playing the offense
telling you, look,
at
that-
home before SEC
that
play?
Friday game, that's
That's
game.
one that makes me nervous.
No, that doesn't make me nervous. The fact that they were able to come back and win that game, that's a jumpstart game.
Mm-hmm.
That's a game that you come through and you win, and Jack Muirfield, a new guy on the team, comes up with a big knock. That just says, you know what? We can fucking do this. Like, we can, doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter that our ace went down early. It doesn't matter that we have all this noise. Like, hey, bro, we can do this. Just got to go out there and play. So they win that game. The next game's 5-1. Normal game. They didn't really, like, crush them, but they dominated on the mound. They won 5-1. And then on Sunday, they went 15 spot. They put up 15 spot in the 5 innings.
I stopped watching. It was so bad.
Of
Like,
the
I wanted
third.
to watch this. It was 7-0.
So
It was good.
they already knew they can hit.
was
Right? I mean, you
10
go
and
look at
nothing
the. I
after
mean, the numbers. Like, what?
No, so we was talking about how wide that game was on Sunday.
Hey, but as a player, that game sucks. I mean, it's great, but then you get to the 5th inning and you're at 15. Like, all right, let's just go.
Yawn fest, yeah.
It's time.
I mean, I started yawning in the second. So
Yeah, it's time to go home. Like, hey, I have 4 at bats through 5 innings and I got 4 hits. I'm ready to go home.
What do you?
All a day's work.
Yeah, let's go home.
Is there something you can do about it? Either you can't be like, "Hey boys, go up there."
No,
swing
because
first pitch swinging.
then you don't want to give away your at bats. So
Right.
I guess all numbers, but it's like
Nah.
I'm checked out. You got guys throwing breaking balls.
Hanging.
That the home run that
Gio.
Gio hit out. This guy threw a curveball, looked like a batting practice fastball. Didn't do anything.
I mean, when I say that thing was rolling, I don't know what else.
And look, you still got to hit it. And I'm pumped for Gio. I think that was a great swing.
It was
and
zero
he
snap.
hit the homer.
It wasn't
Like,
even a snap. It was like he just took the ball and goes.
this guy throws a breaking ball and
There
it
you go.
just trickles into the bat,
Soft toss.
right into the loop.
It had breaking ball spin.
Maybe that guy needs to start throwing sliders. Because that was his
Underhand would have been better. Maybe the ball underhand probably would have been better.
He hung one to Thompson, too. His breaking ball sucked.
Didn't have a breaking ball. It's a
Yeah,
batting
that was
practice
very good.
fastball. The ball just had a little.
It's a
little
confidence
bump in it.
booster. He had a confidence booster.
Gio gave the fist bump around first because he goes, "I have to hit that pitch out. I have to hit that pitch out
for sure.
because
You
you're going to
barrel it
get
up."
dominated in the dugout."
I was asking Jay Mitchell's question the other day, or earlier today when we were hitting. I was like, "Hey, how many home runs do you think? How many home runs Barry have?" He's like, "Oh, he's got four or 5." I was like, "No, he's got 8. 8 home runs. There's 16 games we've played. He has 8 of them. 8 home runs. Half the games he's had a home run. Half the games he's played. That's impressive.
He's a-
sneaky kind of. And he dropped one at 442 feet. That is a bomb.
It's
a bomb.
Intimidator.
Yeah, that's a bomb.
That
I
is
had to tell you
far.
That's
I
way
don't
back.
think you realize how far
No, that's way back.
442 feet is.
Lloyd, like that ball got small, like real quick.
Small.
That's losing it in the light.
That ball got real small.
It's
I
still
mean-
going up on the way gone.
Hey, and here's the deal,
The
though.
Intimidator has never been in jeopardy, and he is pelting it.
Here's the deal. He's banging.
Give him a drop 3. Give him a real bat.
It is a drop.
I mean, drop 5. Give him the old school bat.
Oh, that's the real bats.
That's a real bat. That's weird. That's the news to me. I didn't know that was a real bat.
Give me gorilla ball.
He's doing gorilla.
I know.
ball.
It's saying, give me that bat.
What is
So
Tommy? Does
65
Tommy
The best
Tanks?
part about
Is
it,
Tommy
too-
Tanks still stuck on 9 homers? Like if everybody was pumped, but Tommy Tanks had 9
he's
home runs in
catching
8
them.
games.
The best part about it too, it's so quiet too. Like
He's at a 380, too.
Like you don't hear
Yeah.
anything from him.
He's a great hitter. He's a great hitter.
Is
21
this
RBIs.
Is this the definition of lineup protection? Whenever he has Cruz,
No, I mean I think he's gonna hit no matter what. You know, he hit. I mean, raked last year at 17 as a freshman, but Cruz in 406.
Yeah, no one talks about that.
406. He's got what 3 or 4 home runs
4.
this year. 4 home runs.
But 19 RBIs.
Yeah, right. You have Cade Doty, who's hitting 3 just under 400 with
Dope
6
boy.
and 26. So he was before the season. Nobody was really mentioning him. This guy's gonna be a first rounder. He's a stud. He's a baller. And what I love the most about what he does is when he's in the box, he swings. Like he may not, and his swing's great. I love his swing, but it may not look as pretty as like some of the lefty swings, or it may not look like Dylan Cruz's. But this man is hitting balls to the deepest part of the ballpark in deep left center field, and it is easy. He's flipping balls out and they're going out, and that to me tells me a lot about how good his swing is, because he's not just yanking balls down the left field line. He's hitting balls like to the deep parts of the park, and they're getting out of here.
You watch Cade play, and it's like he's a really good player, and I feel like there's still so much more there too, which is
no doubt. No doubt.
Like, I feel like he's got so much more growing to go, and he's already really good.
I mean, it seems like every game he gets a double.
Yeah,
he's not hitting a double, he's hitting a home run.
He's got 10 doubles, right?
Life, death, and taxes.
Here's the deal, though. Gavin Dugas hadn't even gotten hot yet. He's in the bottom of the lineup, and he hadn't gotten hot, and the boys are like, you look at the top 4 or 5 guys, Jobert's hitting 370.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, he was hot early. I think he had 4 home runs early in the season, 3 or 4 home runs. And he hadn't really hit one in a little bit, but like, he's still hitting 370. He's still driving some guys in. And the emotional leader of your team is Dugas, and he hadn't even gotten hot yet. And that's going to happen. SEC play starts on Friday. They play A&M. I think this is a good way to start SEC play. You're not starting off with Vanderbilt. You're not starting off with some of like the top tier teams. I think A&M's going to be a little bit down compared to where they have been in the past. My buddy is their coach. Nolan Cain's over there. He brought some transfers in. What's the TCU guy is their head coach there? Schloss?
Yeah, I don't know. What's that? Yeah.
Schlossnagel? How do you say his name?
The Schloss.
The Schloss. Schloss is the coach there.
Coach S.
Coach S.
How about y'all just call me Mr. S?
He's there.
He's got to have a nickname.
Nolan's there, but I think A&M, I think they would admit that A&M is probably not where they're going to be next year or the year before.
10-5.
Or the year after. They're 10-5. Like, they're not... They're an SEC team, so they're good. They can beat you. But I think this is a good way to start.
Penn took 2 or 3 from them. That's brutal.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to start SEC play for especially coming off a weekend like they had last week. They're going to come in. Hopefully, Blake Money's back on the bump. They continue to build this confidence, and it's just a continual progression until you get to the gauntlet of SEC play, which is going to happen super soon.
I would imagine they save Blake Money they won't pitch him Friday. I don't
Why?
think
Save him for what?
Make sure he's healthy.
Nah.
If he's healthy, he's going to pitch.
If he's healthy, he's pitching Friday, or he's not going to pitch this weekend.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think A&M is
they're not going to rush him. But if he goes out there and he's healthy, he's pitching. They didn't just say, "Oh, we're gonna get past A&M." Like, no, you need your. Plus, you want him to keep throwing. You want him to keep his arm in shape. You want him to keep because he was throwing 4 perfect innings on Friday. Perfect.
What's the biggest change?
Perfect means nobody got on base.
Don't tell him that.
Perfect. If you're wondering what that meant. Perfecto. Wait, were you gonna ask me?
Is he the biggest shocker of the LSU baseball season so far? Because I did not expect him to be able to come in and be a Friday night guy.
I think maybe to us, but I don't think
Yeah.
Jay put him as a Friday night guy for a reason. So he obviously showed during the spring practices before the season in the fall that he took that jump from freshman year to sophomore year. And he was ready to be put in that role. So obviously Jay saw it and put him at Friday. So maybe to like us and to everybody watching, maybe that was a shock. But I don't think it was a shock to everybody in the locker room, which is the most important thing anyway. You know what I mean? Like we see like people on the outside looking in. We're always so quick to like make our judgments and to make our decisions and to like say this is what should happen, this is what shouldn't happen. You got a little hickey on your neck, or
dude, I got in trouble for that. She was like, "Is that a hickey?" I was like, "No, it's a rash from my elbow."
Sure.
Oh, your elbow moves to your
neck. Or
neck.
is it from the other sleeve when you
broke your sleeve?
When you just busted out?
What kind of massages are you getting?
Yeah, I mean they don't kiss your neck, do they? That's a bridge too far. Just touch me with your hands. Don't
Maybe
kiss
that
me.
detergent or something.
I don't know what it is, but it happened to my elbow, and then I got a GoFlow IV in this one, so I looked like I did heroin for like a good week, and I didn't.
That's why you're crabby.
You
But I try it. I think I could kick it. It's a good challenge. See if I could kick it.
Wow.
You're dark.
Wow. Dark.
Hey, for me, that means a lot.
You're dark.
What? You're gonna do that? You're gonna try? You're gonna test those waters? That is rocky.
Hey, if we need views, I'll do it.
No,
Heroin?
I wouldn't let you do it.
That's the.
I would step in.
Thought that
As the
was
leader of the
bracket
show, I say no.
challenge.
We're not doing that.
That's the leader
No,
of
no,
the
no, no.
show.
We gotta reel you back in.
We're not gonna do that. But back to what I was saying. From the outside looking in, we make all these assumptions and all these expert opinions and all these we should do this, we should, but we're not in the middle. We're not in the middle of the locker room. We don't understand the dynamic of the locker room because we're not there every day. Jay and the coaching staff, and I think that's a big. We talked about it honestly before the show about how good Mark Few is in basketball. I know it's a different sport, but the way you manage personalities on a team is a huge. I think that's what Maneri was really good at. Is Maneri understood? Sometimes he understood how to manage the players. Like if the players were close, he kind of allowed them to like self-regulate themselves, and he would put guys in a position. Right. Well, Mark Few talks about how he recruits to the personality of his team. Right. He recruits to making sure that the guys he brings in on the court mesh as like personality-wise, and like that to me that's a very underrated way of coaching. And I don't think like people just look at the numbers. They just look at what can you do for me on the field? Well, yeah, that's all great. But if you're a great player on the field but a piece of shit in the locker room, that's going to be more detrimental to you than hitting 20 home runs in a season.
Right, and I think that's what a testament to Jacob Berry that he came in and fit in instead of he would have it could easily have been a teacher's pet scenario where it's like, oh, Jay Johnson's bringing over his guy to come hit.
Well, he brought over a good pet.
Yeah,
that's a good one. That's a good one.
Said he's good.
Yeah, he's good. But I think that's what he saw with Money, right? And I think he saw that. He sees it with some of the other guys that are getting opportunities to play. And I think that's Joe Bear. I think he sees all these guys that like. Oh, we didn't know this guy. Like, no. There's more. Like, obviously they're good, but there's more to it than that. And I think that's going to go a long way. And they've built that chemistry through the course of the preseason, pre-SEC season.
Well, I pose this question to you. You talk about a guy like Blake Money that makes that jump freshman to sophomore year. Did you all have a guy that you saw were like, oh shit, we have a guy all of a sudden? Like I wouldn't even say you saw flashes in Money. He was good, but you didn't expect him to be a Friday night guy. Do you know of anybody during your time, whether LSU or in the pros, where it's like, holy shit, this guy's a guy? Like a surprise almost.
Blake Money wasn't really. He just didn't live up to it last year. But he wasn't.
Yeah, he
wasn't like lowly touted coming
tell.
in. He wasn't lowly touted coming in.
He was a big recruit.
Yeah,
right.
If I had to get so basically the only one I could put to it is Anthony Renato. Like he came in as a huge recruit, but he spent a lot a freshman year hurt. And then the next year, he was literally the Friday night. Yeah,
this is the guy we wanted. This is the
guy we anticipated. He was a projected top 5 pick and then he got hurt a little bit his junior year. But he came in talented, didn't really get to perform much because he was hurt. Then from day one on his sophomore year, he shoved. You know, like he was a Saturday guy because Coach gave Lewis the Friday start because he was a senior, came back. And Renato became, for a minute, the Friday guy. And then if Coleman didn't close or pitch in relief, he was going to start on Sunday. And then Coach no. Coleman starts on Friday. Renato starts on Saturday. Austin Ross, who got drafted in like the fourth, I don't even know, pretty high, I think, as a Sunday guy. I'm like, okay, that's pretty good rotation. We can deal with that.
How big is it having a Saturday guy like that?
Huge. You have 2 aces.
Right. That doesn't happen often.
That's kind of what basically that's what Vanderbilt's always done.
Right.
Vanderbilt always has.
In college baseball, dude, if you got 3 arms, you got 3 really good arms, like a good Friday night guy, a good Saturday night guy,
and a good
closer. You have a very good shot.
Yeah.
Because if we can find 1 to 2 bridge guys in there too that are reliable,
used to say you need 2.5 pitchers. You need 2.5 starters.
Yeah.
That's what Skip Burton used to say. 2.5 starters.
Yeah.
You need 2 guys that can dominate on Friday and Saturday. And you need a guy that can get you through 5 innings and allow your offense to rake on Sunday.
Yeah. Floyd's been good.
Floyd's been great. I like his fastball. I like a guy who can control his fastball and has confidence to go at you with his fastball and get outs with his fastball. Because the other stuff can come. Now, if you're trying to spin it, and then try to sneak the fastball and you rely on some of the other stuff, then I don't like that as much. Now, obviously, that those guys have success. But if you can go and you can dominate with a good fastball and you can pitch off the fastball and you're confident off the fastball, I'll take that every day of the week. You know,
it just keeps guys more engaged too as you're playing.
It's been great. It's just a Texas game. You see as a pitcher how it snowballs mentally. You get the error, and then you give a good team an extra out, and they go yard, and it just snowballs from there.
Those extra outs hurt, man.
Extra outs are huge. Extra outs are
hurt.
That hurts that hurts. Like when you start giving teams extra opportunity because those guys, I mean, leadoff walks, 2-out walks, and errors. Those guys always seem to come back around and score. Always.
Is it okay that he throws his fastball that much?
Yep.
I'm okay with it.
I mean,
It works.
now I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know what the advanced analytics say on it, but I would have to say that they're probably pretty good. Like he probably has a lot of good. Probably has a nice spin on it. Probably the ball has a lot of good carry. One of those things I used to call, oh, this ball, it seems like it rises, but it stays on the same plane is what that means. It seems like that's what his fastball is. Mm-hmm. So you can throw up in the zone, and it's going to get. That's what everybody is teaching now, or that's what everybody wants in Major League Baseball is the guys that have good fastballs and they can pitch in the top of the zone, and it's hard to get to. And it seems like that's what he's got. Obviously, I haven't seen those other numbers, but I like that he pitched. I like that he throws his fastball that much. I do. You know, because if you have that pitch, a dominant pitch you can rely on like that, especially a heater, it's more confident.
Could you ever see Reiselman starting a game, or are they just gonna keep him as that anchor guy in the pen?
I like him out the pen.
I love him where he's at.
Okay.
I mean, 3 innings, 7 punchies.
I mean, that's unreal.
If you're counting, you have 9 guys you face in those 3 innings. He struck out 7 of those.
He's huge against
9
Baylor.
times.
He was huge against Baylor.
He's got, and I think that's the beauty of him is he can throw you multiple innings.
Yeah.
And he can stay, and he's strong through all those innings. So it's like, yeah, he may be great as a starter, but why not throw him? Why not have
if I could throw
a
him
guy
twice
goes
in a
6
weekend,
innings, and you throw him 3, and you bridge the gap, and you won the Saturday game, and you only threw 2 guys. That's a big thing.
If I could get him twice in a weekend,
And,
that's huge.
It reminds me of Garrett last year when shit hit the fan. It would always just throw in Garrett. But if you have those 2 bridge guys, like you're saying, you can throw in Garrett.
No, and if he keeps doing this, and on Friday night he shoves, gets the guy out, and then you have him, and let's say Ty Floyd, or let's say Blake Money shoves on Friday, you don't need him. We win. And you go on Saturday, and he comes in, throws an inning or 2. He's going to be able to throw again on Sunday. So if you can get him 2 out of those 3 games on a weekend, that's huge. Because he's the guy out the pen that throws has the most noise on his heater. I think he's touched 100. I think he's touched triple digits. Which
First game he touched against Maine. First time he pitched, he hit 100.
In the cold. That's impressive.